What's going on, traders? Hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'll be explaining how we secured 8.5% so far this week. It's only Thursday and we still have one more trading day left, but so far we have made 8.5% in our free Telegram, and I'll just quickly go through all of this. Okay, so obviously on the 27th of November, our week started, and each week on Sundays, I begin by posting video analysis, just going through some of the setups I'm looking at. And then later on, I also provide signals when I feel it is appropriate to execute on the setups that I previously shared. So for example, right here, we entered GBP JPY. So right here, I sent out the signal, sent it out on the 28th of November. This was our trade right here. And when I sent this out, price actually happened to float at around 4%. So keep in mind, we're risking 2% on every single trade. And now we are up in profit at 4%. And I explained this setup and why we entered in our video analysis previously. So it was in this video where I explained our GBP JPY setup. So once that happened, we actually closed this trade at break even. The reason why was because price just happened to just push back down. But at that point, we had already made our this trade risk free, as you guys can see right here. We made this trade risk free. So price did come back down, but we got out at 0%. And then later on, I sent out a buy signal for USD CHF. And then this trade, you guys can see, this was the before. We entered this trade over here. And you guys can see price just started to shoot towards the upside, and we decided to close this trade at 4% profit. Okay, so this was a very good trade, and it was a very good way to begin the week. And then later on, after the daily closure, I always post a video analysis as well. So I just talked about USD CHF and things of that nature. I posted USD CAD and GBP JPY as well. And then later on, I sent out a sell signal on GBP JPY. Now, this trade was really quick and was actually one of the better trades this week. And you guys can see this was the signal when we sent out. I was targeting the lows over here for reasons explained in the video analysis. And then right over here, we see that the market was just starting to melt towards the downside. However, as you guys can see, we had this purple level of support, which was going to act as a level of support for GJ, which obviously it did. But at that point, we were floating around 4%. I noticed some weakness occurring. So instead, we just we decided to close this trade. So you guys can see GBP JPY is floating 4%. If we can clear this support, then I was expecting price will continue to have a fast move towards the downside. But unfortunately, we didn't really break support, so we just decided to close that trade. So we closed this trade. So we first made the trade risk-free because I wanted to see how this candlestick was going to close. But then when I noticed it was starting to reject, I decided to close this trade at 2.5%. So keep in mind, USD CHF was 4%, GJ was now 2.5%, and so far we are up around 6.5%. Okay, and then so we closed this trade, and you guys can see I did a little weekly update over here as well, 6.5% for the week. And then I sent out another signal for a buy limit on USD CHF. Unfortunately, so this was our buy limit. Unfortunately, price didn't come down to retest, but price did really shoot towards the upside. You guys can see how fast price started to rise. This was our buy limit that I set here. Obviously, that didn't pan out. So we just decided to close that buy limit. You guys are over here. I said closing our buy limit. And then instead, I waited for price to come back down to a level of support to give us that clear entry. And then I sent out the buy signal for USD CHF. Obviously, I tell you guys the amount of pips and the amount of percentage that I'm risking on the trade. And then you guys can see this was our signal that I sent out. And boom, we had immediate price rejecting from that level of support. And again, everything was explained in my video analysis that I post basically every day. Every trading day I post a video analysis, and if not, then I post a screenshot and a clear description as to what I'm expecting. We decided to close this trade at 2% because I did recognize that price, although price did reject, the way that the market was moving, we had a lot of wicks here towards the upside, which did mean that this bullish trend was potentially going to start pushing back down. And so I was already comfortable with our 8.5% for the week. So I decided to close this trade. And that's exactly what we did. We closed this trade at 2%, you guys can see. And then essentially, this is when we did the weekly update, and we made 8.5% for the week. And this was only Thursday, so we still have we still have one more day left. I did post some video analysis. This was actually the new monthly closure. So you guys, this is December 1st, and obviously December 1st is always going to be a lot of volatility because of the new candlestick open for the monthly time frame. So for that reason, market was moving mad today. So essentially, I just decided to stay out and just kind of see what price was going to do rather than send out a signal and just kind of FOMO. But yeah, if you guys are interested in joining this Telegram, then I'll leave the link in the description below, and potentially we could even enter another trade tomorrow, because there still is we still have an opportunity if the market allows us to enter the trade.